I know it feels like a tornado has hit us and we simply don't understand this generation. Half the time with my Gen Zer, my 22-year-old daughter, I'm looking at her like, I don't even understand what she's saying. I don't even know what she's talking about, even though she's super articulate. The other day, she gave me a big lecture about red flags and boundaries and, oh my goodness, they know everything. Okay, they've seen every place on Instagram, everything in their pocket. This generation has been exposed to so much that I think it's kind of messed things up for them. It's certainly robbed them of the innocence of their childhood. So here are 10 real contradictions of this generation. Number one, in my opinion, they are so overstimulated, right? They have access to the entire world in their pocket, and yet they don't even want to leave their house, right? So they're overstimulated, but underexperienced. Number two, they want this deep connection, right? They talk about deep feelings and deep connection, but yet they're texting everyone. They don't want to go in person. They don't like to make small talk. They can barely make eye contact. Number three, they crave purpose, but then they feel paralyzed by any sign of pressure. Right? They're aware more than any other generation of climate change and injustice and inequality. And I really believe that the weight of all this exposure has kind of crushed their sense of urgency. While many of them are activists, and that's amazing, many of them also have this jaded cynicism and this numbness and this apathy that worries us. This is a generation that wants all the rewards, right? They see us living in all this amazing, success that we've created for ourselves, and they dream big and they want luxury, and, they go through Instagram and TikTok and see these reality stars. So they want the rewards, but somehow can't stick through the discomfort. It's almost as if this instant gratification has made them intolerant of boredom, delay, or failure. So they give up even before they begin. Number five, they have the most freedom, right? We've given them the authority to speak up, and I've been part of that movement of letting our children, really own their voice. But yet they have the most fear, the most anxiety, even though they can say anything, be anything, become anything. Because I think when you have so many choices, it's a decision paralysis. When everything is possible, it's almost as if everything feels unsafe and impossible. Number six, they are the most emotionally literate. They can name their feelings better than we could. They talk about, all sorts of fancy psychological lingo babble, but yet they are the most emotionally fragile. They lack the internal muscle to hold all their feelings. Number seven, they reject conformity, and that is so amazing. But they're still chasing validation. They're so proud to be different and fluid and bold, but then they edit themselves into invisibility and conformity on Instagram or TikTok. So underneath that rebellion is still a desperate hunger to belong. Number eight, they want to be taken seriously, but they don't trust adults. You see, they want the respect, but then they scoff at authority. They demand the freedom, but they fear the responsibility that comes with it. They're navigating a world where most grown-ups, to their defense, look like crazy toddlers. Toddlers are cute. We look like the crazy ones. Number nine, they avoid pain, but they're drowning in it. So they escape into these dopamine loops on TikTok and Netflix and vaping and shopping and online personas. Again, not because they're lazy, but because I think there's just too much exposure. The world feels like it's too much. They weren't taught by us how to metabolize the emotional pain, so they avoid it until it consumes them. And lastly, they want to be seen, but they yet don't know who they are. Their identities are shaped by each other, by trends, by algorithms, by social media. So they're constantly becoming someone for someone else. And when the world quietens down and they're left on their own, they don't know who that is. But before we label them as lazy or broken or weak, we need to understand that we are the ones who need to be their anchor. We are the ones who need to create the bridge and be their inner compass. If it isn't us, who then? And this is why we parents need to rise up and learn new skills to navigate our children in an era that we have never encountered before.